August 16th WOD, we're gonna do 2 upper back WODs. First, we're gonna start with our general warm-up, and then after that, we're gonna go into the durability and activation, and we're gonna do 2 rounds, 10 reps each of that. So the first one is a low squat. If you are barefoot or just have tight ankles, I'm gonna have you elevate your heel. So I just rolled up my mat so that my heel is higher than my foot. I still have all my pressure on my whole foot, so it's not just the toe, it's not just my heel. And then I'm just gonna go for some overhead reaches. So you can either press overhead as if you have a weight in your hand, or normally we just kind of swing our arm up. So this is just different, so I kind of like this one. Totally up to you. So 10 total, and then down dog squats. So in your downward facing dog, what you're gonna do is just bend the knees and straighten them. So I'm just playing with a little bit of different tension on my knee, some different quad work, and some different back work. The whole time you're in down dog or that A-frame, I wanna be pressing my chest towards my legs so that my chest is open as opposed to really rounded. So as you squat, you'll notice some different changes on the back, or you might just notice it in the legs, but either way it's good. So 10 down dog squats, and then split squat, which we're gonna do in the workout. So stepping back into a lunge, arms overhead, I'm just gonna do a split squat, which is just a lunge. I'm just staying in one spot. I still wanna try to put a little more pressure on my front leg than my back leg. And if you notice, it's a little shorter than say a yoga lunge, which would be way back here. Okay, so I'm still dropping my knee to the floor. I'm still at about these 2 90-degree angles. And for this warm-up, we're gonna do both arms overhead, because in the actual WOD, I'll have you do a single arm overhead. All right, so those are your lunges. It's up to you whether you wanna do 10 lunges on the left, 10 lunges on the right, or 5 and 5. I would do 10 and 10. And then prone W to Y. So I'm gonna go from a W position with my arms to a Y. Prone, which just means laying down. So forehead down, W to Y presses, trying to keep my elbows and my hands off the floor the whole time. The last one is gonna be a lateral shuffle. In the WOD, I'll give you guys 2 options to do the lateral shuffle. You're either gonna do a 2-step or a 1-step. So just what that looks like. The lateral shuffle, you're staying on your toes to make sure you don't roll your ankle. I'm gonna do 1, 2, and land, or 1 and land. 1 and land, 2 and land. So in the warm-up, you can kind of play with that. You could do, if you have more space than I have, you could do like 5 and 5. Any lateral shuffle is fine. Just getting yourself used to that rhythm, okay? And then the actual WOD, so for that durability, you're gonna do 2 rounds of that. For the WOD, the first one, you're gonna do 3 rounds, 10 to 20 reps. That means that within 10 to 20, I'm getting to some type of failure. It doesn't have to be complete failure where it's like, a competition and this is all I got, but you want to feel like you're working and you're getting a little bit fatigued before you stop and move to the next movement. So when you warm up and before this WOD, you should practice each of these pieces and kind of feel them out. So you'll practice the shuffle, you're gonna practice obviously the split squat, but now you're gonna practice it with a dumbbell before the WOD to feel what that feels like. So there's 4 movements, again, 3 rounds, 10 to 20 reps. So dumbbell overhead split squat. I'm gonna put the dumbbell in my left hand and put my right leg forward, so it's just opposite. If you end up doing the other side, it's not the end of the world, but we're doing contralateral. So I'm gonna end up doing 10 to 20 lunges on this side. So this strength for today is gonna come a little bit from your shoulder as opposed to your leg. So go as much as you can with the leg, holding a weight that you feel comfortable locking it out overhead. So maybe you do 20 lunges, and then you're gonna do that 2-step, 1, 2, land, shuffle, and you can do 10 of those. I would count it like 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10. But if you want to do more or less, you can kind of play with those numbers. It's up to you. I just want something to keep the heart rate up and shake the legs out. Then you're going to step back, whoa, dumbbell in, again, the opposite hand, left leg forward, right hand is up, and I'm going to do 10 to 20 lunges on this side. And then I'm going to do, again, 1, 2, land, 1, 2, land, that 2 shuffle, right? Getting yourself into a little bit of a rhythm. The lower you get, the heart rate might raise a little bit with that one, so that's fun. Okay. Then the second WOD, again, 3 rounds, 10 to 20 reps. We're gonna do good morning with our dumbbells on our shoulder. I'm gonna demo with 2 8-pounders. I'm telling you right now, they probably don't need anything more than that. So there's 2 ways to hold this. You can hold 2 dumbbells, touching in the back, and I'm actually gonna push them together just so that they are supported by like my back and my neck, and then I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together so that also holds the dumbbells. My feet are underneath my hips, not too wide, and I'm gonna go for that good morning. So knees bent a little bit, butt back, and I'm keeping my chest nice and tall. So this is a huge back and then glutes. You're gonna feel it a lot more like in your back as a core piece throughout your whole spine, like a stabilizer, as opposed to just the glutes, which you might feel in a normal good morning or something like that. So the other option is 1 dumbbell on the back and then try it that way. What happens though, other than like or opposite than a deadlift, I don't have the weight here where it's close to my body. It's now out here, it's at my shoulders, but the weight is further away, so it's going to feel a lot heavier. So start with something light when you're warming up and practicing. And like I said, either 1 or 2 dumbbells, but do realize that it's kind of like when we do those arch ups where we're laying down and you have like 2 pounds in your hands and it's so heavy. It's like that. So definitely practice. Realize that it's a spine stabilizer. So I don't want any rounding of the back. We want to stay really tall with our chest. So this position. Okay, so that's your good morning. And then you're gonna do the prone to wide presses, but this time we're gonna add weight. So the same thing we did in the durability, laying down, forehead can be down or up this time. I'll give you the option for that. In the warm up, our forehead is down. In the WOD, it's up to you, but you're gonna hold weights or maybe just, you know, soup cans or bean cans, and you're gonna go from that W to that Y press, just keeping your arms off the ground the whole time. All right, so you got 10 to 20 of those, and then fence hoppers. This one, you're gonna do 20, but you're gonna do fast and slow, all right? So hands down, I'm gonna jump from side to side. 1, 2, 3. So there's slow, and then fast, all right? You can jump really high, you can jump really shallow, but you're just kind of pretending that you're jumping over something. Land really soft for yourself. Those are fence hoppers. And then you have lateral shuffle, but this time you're only gonna do 1 step. So 1 shuffle, land, 1 shuffle, land. So it might be this quick, or you might keep it really casual and be here. But just know that if your heart rate's not high enough, you can always make it higher. And if it's too high, you can always make it lower. So that is your second WOD. Do those back to back. You're gonna feel, like I said, nice posterior chain work on that one. That's your workout for August 16th.